personality of Godhead. Traditionally, attributed to Bhagavadgeetha, written in Sanskrit language, with 18 chapters, 700 verses, 1400 lines, 20,826 words. It provides three types of teaching, which includes Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. The principle of knowledge, dharma, and devotion. Why should one remember the importance? Why should one recall the relevance? Why should one revel the essence of this spiritual dictionary? The answers for all our questions will be answered in a few moments. Without any further ado, we will proceed to the Veda Kosha, the knowledge of absolute reality. For this, I welcome Dr. Subramanya Professor and Head of the Departments, Sanskrit and Kannada. I welcome you, sir. Om Shri Guru Namaha Hari Om. Om Megha Devi Samadana Vishwati Bhadra Supranasyamana Vayadushta Nudavana Yavatvadeva Vidate Mira Vayadushta Virbhavini Vidmaya Brahmagata Shri Rutakaya Vayadushta Vitram Vittameva Susado Jishan Matra Vidodame Vedha Mahindra Vedha Devi Saraswati Vedha Me Ashvina Bhavana Pushkaraskata Sarana Jaya Vedha Dharme Sutayamana Devi Vedha Saraswati Sama Vedha Sunadir Supaya Aham Vedha Saramaya Vishwaru Bhagavadgeetha Gamya Urjaswati Vayasa Pindavana Sama Vedha Sutradhika Shakta Mai Vedha Mai Praja Mai Yagniseyo Tadha Mai Vedha Mai Praja Mai Indriyam Tadha Mai Vedha Mai Praja Mai Sodyo Khano Tadha Om Nakarmanaya Prajaya Vane Jatyage Nike Amrapavana Choho Pare Nanakam Iham Guhaya Vidhyaja Vedam Yatayo Vishakti Vedanta Vidyana Suristitata Nyata Yoga Yatayo Bhagatvaha Devrabhaloke Duparantagane Bharavata Parimuchyanti Sarve Dagram Vipapam Parale Bhagotam Yatpundarikam Varatyaram Kustam Tatrapi Datram Gagatam Vishokastasmin Yadatas Alupami Kaukyam Om Nakarmanam Pratayare Natyage Neite Amrapavana Om Sahadavadu Sahadavadu Sahavijakaravai Tejasvinavadhitamasvamari Vishavai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you, sir. Your chanting has helped us to feel the energy of manipulated adjustments. Thank you so much. Praying is essential for understanding God and for perceiving His existence through our body, mind, and intellect. It is a medium to establish communion with God. Now, I welcome Mr. Mamrudesh to take the blessings of Almighty. Welcome, Mr. Shantaram Bhujagashayam Parvanam Desham Vishwadharam Vishwadharam Meghavanam Meghavanam Lakshmi Shri Lakshmi Kamalaya Yogi Vande Vishnu Vande Vishnu Bhavayam Sarvalokaikanath Sarvalokaikanath Achyuta Ananda Mukunda Samaya Shri Hari Parajanai Samanya Samanya 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 Shri Hari Parajanai Samanya Sarvakaryapi Shri Hari Sarvakaryapi Shri Hari Sarveshwarayendu Swaramanayendu Sarvakaryapi Shri Hari Sarveshwarayendu Swaramanayendu Sarvakaryapi
present in this form of one person who always strives for unity, being supportive for all, and who requires the great balance in his life. That is our respected Chief Administrative Officer and City Officer, Dr. B.G. Satyaprasad. To Zoom and YouTube platform. I welcome all of them. Just as the ocean remains undisturbed by the instant flow of waters from rivers, nothing into it. Like this, a man with confidence and courageous, humble at the same time. That is, that the Manjunath is hugely visible. I welcome you, sir. A man is made by his beliefs, as he believes. So, he is with these words. I welcome Professor Chikari Baya, PU principal, for this auspicious day. Welcome you, sir. Leaders are the one who always stands for pride and shoulders for responsibility. And our two leaders who are imparting their knowledge to younger minds of the city and through their wisdom. That is Mr. Naveen and Professor Ani from City Yamata. I accept nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I am possible. I welcome Dr. Abhishek Pillage, who is a positive thinker and IPA placement coordinator. I welcome you for this stage program. I also extend a hearty welcome to various department heads, the different class instructors, and I welcome all of them. Coming together is a beginning. Staying together is a progress. Working together is a success. I welcome all my peer group, teaching and non-teaching staff on this stage. The proud colors of G. Brown, the young and smart brains of this college, that is our ever now students. I welcome all our students for this Gita celebration. I extend my heartfelt welcome to the press and media partners for this today's program. Welcome to all. Our own areas can only take us to a certain level, but ultimate goal will be attained only by the mercy of God. Thank you.
Thanks for your warm welcome, ma'am, and I welcome you to this webinar. Like the present luminaries and brightness. Now, I request all the guests to light the lamp and inaugurate the program. And then all the dignitaries are offering a life to the world. Leadership is the ability to translate vision into reality. I welcome for such visionary, intellect, and educationalists, our beloved Chief Administrative Officer, Dr. B. Satyaprasad sir, to express his views on internship. I welcome you, sir.
Good morning to all of you. Now the program will be like this. Another 5 minutes, I will be able to talk to you people now. Formal function will come to an end. After this, our chief guest today, who have arrived here and who have graced the day, they will go to the computer lab and they are going to deliver talk to the whole of the world. More than 700 delegates have registered for this kind of program. Two people also can go to the class, and from there you have to switch on the mobile, and through the mobile the link can be given, and open the link and join the program. Is it very clear to you? Prasada will be done here. After the program, Prasada will be given to all of you. So while going in, you take the Prasada and go to the respective class. You will go to the computer lab. Respected dignitaries on the dance and off the dance. It's a great pleasure for all of us. As you are celebrating your birthdays and anniversaries, today it is Bhagavadgeetha, great scholarly episode which are being given by Lord Krishna on this day. Therefore, it is called as Bhagavadgeetha Jayanti Day. On behalf of ISKCON Temple, ISKCON Trustees, and on behalf of the I wholeheartedly wish everyone to have great Jayanti Day, Bhagavadgeetha Jayanti Day to all of you. Let the Lord Krishna, Vishnu Paramatma, bless all of us and remove the evil from the whole world and bring peace to this nation. That is the message that Lord Krishna has given to all of us, and we will also pay accordingly to Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna. Coming to the business, what I have got now, on behalf of you, on behalf of the management, on behalf of our staff, I wholeheartedly request Sri Chaitanya Avadari Das to receive our talk from the management for having graceful occasion to address all of us today on a great day, not only addressing, bless this institution, bless the children, let them have a great prosperous life in the future. And Sri Rasamai Devi Dasi, she is also here, and we would like to honor and express gratitude to these two personalities who have dedicated their life to the Sanatana Dharma and spreading the message of Lord Krishna to millions of people in the whole of the world. Let God give our strength, our aid, our pleasure to these two personalities who are doing human services, God services to the mankind. Today, you know how the world is moving, how much of prayer we do, how much of blessings we see, how much of Ashirvada the God and God is giving to us. It is not sufficient to bring the discipline in the society. For that purpose, we will pray these two personalities and receive our honor in this great occasion. Over to Dr. Manjunath and Dr. Devika to honor. Dr. Suvarna should come to the dance to honor them. Now, over to them to address to Zoom online. Another 5 minutes. What are thanks will be there. After that, we will move to the other room and we'll start our normal program. We are extremely happy that you have shown your discipline, you have shown your bhakti to Lord Krishna, you have chanted bhajan, and I wholeheartedly thank all the bhajan team who have recited bhajan to our students and some other days. I will call and we will to have this wonderful bhajan to our college students, school students. Over to Master of Ceremony, Santosh.
Hare Krishna. It's a great opportunity for us to be here. In a return for the gratitude, we like to honor Satya Pratap sir and Madam on this occasion. I request his Sri Chaitanya Prabhu to just give a token of gratitude to Mr. Satya Prasad. I request Sri Gita to honor the community. Thank you.
Gratitude is a beautiful way of enriching our lives. It is appreciation and thankfulness for the good which we receive. As we come to the end of the function, I invite Dr. Manjunath, Principal, City Group of Institutions, Management Studies and Research to render the good. Over to you, sir.
Being thankful for everything that happens in your life. It's all an experience. A very good morning to the respected dignitaries, special invitees, host distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and all the students who are part of this Monday International Webinar on Bhagavadgeetha, a way to life skills, organized by Sanskrit Department, Bhagavadgeetha Institute of Management Studies and Research. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this formal program, Memorable Monday International Webinar on Bhagavadgeetha, a very live to skills organized by Sanskrit Department, GPMSR. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty of God for making today's International Webinar formal program in these sounding senses. First and foremost, I thank our chief guests, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavadgeetha and Sri Samay Devi Das for gracing this occasion. They are going to address on this occasion in the Zoom platform. Thank you, sir, and thank you, madam. I also express my heartfelt thanks to our chairman, sir, for their continuous support, and it is also here. Thank you, sir. Thanks to our beloved Chief Administrative Officer, Bhagavadgeetha Education and Trust, Dr. B. Satyaprasad Sir, for his unconditional support and guidance in conducting this international webinar on Bhagavadgeetha. I owe special gratitude to Director Dr. Deepika Madam for her guidance and unconditional support in conducting this international webinar. Thank you, madam. I thank all the volunteers from ISKCON Board. Thanks. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming to our college this occasion. I thank all the delegates from India, across world who have registered, Australia who have registered from USA, who have registered from Canada also. Registered in large number and attending this one-day international webinar through Zoom, Bhagavadgeetha speaks and making this international webinar a solid success. Thank you all. Further, I take up this opportunity to thank all the department heads of CDE, Dr. Abhishek Madam, MBA department, Professor W. Sebastian Madam, Income department, Dr. Sona Madam, Hindi department, Dr. Subramania Bhattacharya, Sanskrit department, Professor Shishami, BCA, Mohammed Ishaq, BCom, and Professor Noor, CA department, for all your support in conducting this international webinar. Thank you all. I accept my thanks to Mr. Chief sir, for your support on this occasion, and GT Gamathan Principal, Professor Mahi sir, and Professor Vadisha Madam for raising the occasion and organizing all the children to this international webinar. I owe special gratitude to the teaching and marketing staff who have worked hard to ensure this international webinar becomes a memorable success. I thank the technical team, President Media as well, and I thank all the children from the school, GT Vidyamandir, and all the students of PUC for raising this occasion on Gita Jayanti. Thank you all. I look at the platform in this inspiring quote by Bhagavadgeetha says, whatever happened for good in life, whatever is happening for good in life, whatever will happen will also happen for good in life. Bhagavadgeetha. Thank you all.
Hello, good morning to all of you. Today, it's a great day in GT Institute of Management Studies and Research,
I request all the students
because
please
on Gita Jayanti day, we have organized one-day international webinar on Bhagavadgeetha, a way to life skills, organized by Sanskrit Department of Gangama Timaya Educational Trust. The chief guest and the main speaker on the occasion is Sri Chaitanya Avatari Das and Sri Rasamayi Devi Dasi, who have dedicated their life to the whole of the world, the mankind, by spreading the message of Lord Krishna to the mankind. You know, in Bhagavad Gita of 1st and 2nd century, where Vyasa Maharshi has created this and written the script of Bhagavad Gita, which was a discourse between Lord Krishna and great warrior Arjuna. You know, the physical evidences are showing that the Bhagavad Gita was witnessed 5,000 and odd years, wherein Lord Krishna Vishnu has created two different type of characters to the two different families, Dhritarashtra and Pandava. In Dhritarashtra's family, he created all evil characters and he created all good characters in Pandava's family. In these two families, whatever we are facing today, what we are facing today in every individual's life, family life, society life, in the government, at the international level, at the global level, we have hatredness, we have jealousy, we have cruelty, we have lack of concentration, we have deceived ourselves, we don't have courage, we are all cowards, we are cunning, we are greedy, we never satisfy ourselves with anything, we don't know what to do and we don't know what not to do, and every day we will encounter these type of dilemmas in thousands and thousands of ways. In this episode of discourse of Lord Krishna and Arjuna, it is a dialogue between the two. In this dialogue, so many questions warrior Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna in Kurukshetra, and Lord Krishna, by answering all the questions to great warrior Arjuna, he was giving the message to everybody, every individual. 800 crore population is there in the world, for everybody to take something from that discourse and take something from their dialogues. I listed more than a dozen varieties of characters of Kauravas, and in Pandava side, so many good characters we found: Dharmaraya, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, Kunti, and there Gandhari, Manthare, like that, so many different type of characters. And he created a character of even Bhishma, Dronacharya, Ashwatthama. By looking at each characters and in the battlefield, how they were stood just opposite to each other, and what was the confusion Lord Krishna had, the great warrior Arjuna had, and for all those confusions, Lord Krishna gave clarity to every individual question. And that discourse was written by Vyasa Maharshi in 18 chapters, and each chapter, a great message has been given to all of us. So it is a small attempt from Gangama Timaya group of institution to learn, to practice, to adopt karma yoga, bhakti yoga, yoga, and devotion, concentration, do good to the nation, do good to the mankind, and do justice to everybody. Don't be too greedy, don't be too ambitious. All these different type of dilemmas what we are encountering every day, that has been illuminated beautifully by Lord Vyasa, and Lord Krishna has disseminated this news to all of us. So thereby, Bhagavad-Gita is one of the most comprehensive solution to all millions of problems what the mankind is facing today. Not only in the household problem, but also in the society, in the government, in the court, every individual organization, every individual person, both ladies and gents, should take some kind of clues, principles to follow in their life. The greater part of this will be illuminated, will be disseminated in a beautiful way by Sri Chaitanya Avatar Das. He is here by leaving all his busy schedule to address all the 700 delegates who have registered online as well as through the WhatsApp. And I wish everybody to have the great opportunity to listen to them. And at the same time, if you have any confusion, if you have any small question, big question, clarification, you can put all those things in the chat box. where the chief guest will address and try to solve all or try to give a befitting reply, befitting answer to all your queries and dilemmas. With this initial remarks, I wholeheartedly welcome once again the chief guest, Chaitanya Avatari Das, to this platform, and I will hand over this platform to him to further continue the session for 40 to 45 minutes and 15 minutes question and answer session. I wish everybody to have a grand gala of academic, moral, ethical values on this great Sanatana Dharma Day, Gita Jayanti Day. Thank you. God bless everyone. Over to the chief guest.
Thanks for your astounding and detailed views on Gita Jayanti and the spiritual dictionary Bhagavadgeetha, sir. Thank you once again. This is the time to introduce the guest and the speaker for today's program. For the guest introduction, I call upon Dr. Suvarna ma'am, professor and the head of the department, Hindi. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reaction of the past misdeeds will not act upon him. Said by Lord Shiva and Parvati. A man is made up by his beliefs. As he believes, so he becomes. A very good morning to everyone. Gita Jayanti greetings to one and all. Lord Krishna will bless you with good health and bright future. I, Dr. K. Suvarna, Professor and HOD of Hindi Department, feel very privileged in welcoming the guest and speaker of the today's program, Gita Jayanti Divas. Sir, Sri Chaitanya Avatari Das and Rasmai Devi Dasi. Rasmai Devi Dasi, born and brought up in Bangalore only. I feel very proud too. Mataji is MCOM gold medalist, practicing Krishna consciousness for more than 30 years. Certified Bhakti Vaibhava and Bhakti Shastri teacher. Actively support her husband in offering love and care to worldwide communities. Mataji developing value-based and spiritual education curriculum for children and youth. Leading the developing systematic and spiritual curriculum for beginners. Mataji worked as insurance officer in the state insurance company. Mataji gave up her job in the year 1997 to serve the society by offering love and care based on Vedic wisdom. Sri Chaitanya Avatari Das. Avatari Das started practicing Krishna consciousness from nearly 30 years and systematically propagating spiritual knowledge to society at large. Dasji educating all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalances of values in life and achieve real unity and peace. Dasji, the vice chairman of South Indian Divisional Council and also the temple president, ISKCON, Magdi Main Road, Bangalore. Avatari Dasji, Global Duty Officer, member of Global Body Council, Organization Development Committee, and member of Global Bhakti Vriksha Research and Development Team. Dasji is specialized and expertised in organizing home-based programs. Dasji worked for 100 companies for all over 30 years and occupied high-end leadership positions. As a life and career counselor, Avatar Dasji traveled all over the world and he helping lakhs of individuals to understand themselves and the world in order to make career, educational and life decisions. Lastly, I thank Mataji and Dasji Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and graced occasion. Very auspicious day, Gita Jayanti. GT institutions, staff and students are very fortunate to hear your valuable words. I thank the organizer for making the part of today's program. Thank you one and all. Jai Shri Krishna. Over to Dasti. Thank you, sir.
How do I know whether they can hear me clearly? Hare Krishna. Om Adgyanati Mirandasya Jnana Jnana Shalakaya Tachuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I thank the GT institution for giving us an opportunity to speak on this auspicious Gita Jayanti day. Bhagavadgeetha is a treasure house for mankind. Bhagavadgeetha is perceived by different people in different ways, based on what one desires and what one needs. And with that thought, if anyone approach Bhagavad Gita, they will find solution. So Bhagavad Gita, technically many of them think it is a crisis management book, because Arjuna is put in very challenging situation and he wouldn't know how to react in that crisis. So he have no choice but to surrender to Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Initially, he thought he's a great warrior. Nobody can equal him in the skills to fight the battle. In spite of being highly skilled and qualified, still Arjuna could not face the challenge in front of him. So, in the second chapter, very nice descriptions are given that how Arjuna is struggling, even though he was a great warrior, he was struggling to face all his friends and relatives, uncles, were all standing in opposite side to fight this great war of Kurukshetra. So that's how this whole Bhagavad Gita came to all of us, and Arjuna was instrumental in passing on this message to all of us and to the whole humankind. So we all know, but many of us have seen Bhagavad Gita. Many of them come to me and say that, what they have knowledge about Bhagavad Gita is that in the movies they show that keeping Bhagavad Gita as a sakshi, to say that they are speaking only the truth. Beyond that, they do not have any idea of Bhagavad Gita. But as I was saying, it is my own experience that when I came in contact with this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, I have no idea what is this great scripture is all about. I must, at this point in time, offer my unlimited gratitude to the ISKCON founder Acharya, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, that with his wisdom, he could trigger this thought in my young mind to see that what is this Bhagavad Gita is all about. Otherwise, generally, all of us have our own views about life and perceptions. Till the time when we are put into various situations, we wouldn't even know how to react to such situations. So, as I mentioned earlier, Bhagavad Gita is for different people with a different purpose they approach and see how they would like to just take advantage of this great wisdom. Even before you or all of us to see what is this Bhagavad Gita, what is that, what way it helps us. We need to understand some of the basic foundational understanding that how do we approach this Bhagavad Gita and what do we get out of this Bhagavad Gita. Again, very nicely explained by Srila Prabhupada, that just changed and transformed my life. So the fundamental basic question that all of us should just understand and ask this is, how different we as human beings from the animals? Now this thought, when I came in contact 30 years back, it rattled me. Somebody asked me, so you're a human being, so how different you are from animals? This question was asked to me as novice in this wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. So I was made to think, and I couldn't churn out any answer from my heart because I was completely ignorant at that point in time. So I was completely shocked that somebody is asking me this question. As human being, how different you are from the animals. So then I tried attempting to see that, yes, human being also have a family, animals also have a family, they have a family life. One man and woman come together, they have byproducts in the form of children. And we also have in the form of, while executing this life, that we also have some enmity developed. Friendship and enmity is a part of our interaction. So in that bargain, that we also have to follow the same thing that what humans and animals also do. So then it kind of a very thought-provoking wisdom which I heard and I churned out through this Bhagavad Gita. Yes, it's just, the person who explained to me expressed that animals also have family life. We also have family life. We have children. They also have children. They defend with their claws and teeth and with their ferocious attitude. They defend themselves. We defend with our own weapons and guns and knives and many things. So like this, that, many of us, between animals and human beings, we have common things. There is nothing different than what animals also do. So then that's when it struck to me that, oh my God, that am I claiming to be a human being, but my activities seem to be the same as animals. So that was a huge shock for me in my life. If somebody is going to tell me that you are no better than animal, and then I was asking this question. So if I am not animal, what am I supposed to do? This question naturally arose in my heart. Then I asked this question, so what am I supposed to do? Yes, I agree that there is no difference between animals and humans. Activities per se all same. But what is that human being is supposed to do or expected to do, which animal can't do. That's when it's really set my thought process. Then I further asked the person who actually imparted this first lesson to me, please elucidate me, what is that one thing which as human being I should demonstrate that I can claim that I'm different than animals. Then this person wonderfully narrated from Bhagavad-Gita that as human beings, we should be asking relevant questions. If the animals are put into difficulty, we all had, the pandemic, last 2-3 years, we had pandemic. Many people lost their job, lost their income. They were not in a position to eat their square meal. We are all put into so much of difficulties. Similarly, the animals also, when they are put into difficulties, they are not getting their square meal, they also use their head to hunt for some food and just go around, just grab some food. So these thoughts are actually really just made me think deeply. And if I don't ask relevant questions, and that what are the relevant questions, when I heard this, I had in for a shock that as human being, we should ask this fundamental question: why I'm here? What am I supposed to do? From here, where am I supposed to go? Why am I suffering in this world? This is what is really a kind of a shocking questions that it just this person delivered me. So many things was put into this that as human being that we take birth. We all claim about our parentage, our background. We are very nice. My parents were like this. We have our own claims that as human being. But then all that said and done, if you don't ask this relevant question, why am I here as human being? What am I supposed to do? From here, where I'm supposed to go? While I'm in this human form, why am I constantly suffering? Even though I'm claiming I'm a very nice person, but still suffering come to me. So these are the questions which actually set me thinking. So then I asked this question, okay, I agree with you that I need to be asking these important questions. But if I ask these questions, I have this question, you really triggered my thought in my mind that I should be asking this question. So where do I get this answer? I was always thinking, because my parents, my grandfather, they're all highly educated intellectuals, highly placed, a family, background, everything. So when I put forth this question to them, they didn't have an answer. Because I thought my father, my grandfather, my uncles, they were all highly placed individuals and materially very successful. When I encountered this situation, when I asked this question, they didn't have an answer. I had a second shock of my life. When I asked this question, they didn't have an answer. So then I looked back and came back to the same person who asked me this question. Look, I'm kind of shocked that you asked me this question as human being. If I ask this question, if I don't know the answer, where am I supposed to look for? Then he said that all these questions, all this wisdom is explained and packaged in Bhagavad-Gita. So if you systematically understand, then you will have solution and answer for all your questions. This is fundamental question. There are many questions which is very serious in our life that we don't know how to even get out from the situation. So then I slowly start deeply dwelling on these thoughts. Then I realized that, okay, if I ask this question, I asked my elders, they didn't have an answer. So then I just jumped dived into the subject matter of Bhagavad-Gita. So then second point, what I learned is that all of us human beings, all of us have 4 defects. Because this is again a huge shock for me. I thought I'm a perfect person. I'm well educated, well qualified, best proficient person. I work for the best organization in the world. These are some of the thoughts. When I heard this, when I just understood from Bhagavad-Gita that all of us have 4 defects, I couldn't sleep for 2 days. Come on, that I came from the best institution, I studied, I'm the topper, I got the best companies in the world. Still you call me that I have 4 defects. I couldn't digest this fact. So then I started, with the help of the person who already understood Bhagavad Gita, I asked him, so can you just enlighten me a little more? Then he started saying that, which is kind of a universal fact. All of us have these 4 defects. One is that we all commit mistake. Nobody is an exception, because at some point in time we commit mistake. No human being can say, I will not commit mistake, I'm perfect being at any point in time. I thought so. When I heard this, all of us have the 4 defects, everybody commit mistake. I thought through, I thought I'm a topper, I'm the best employee, work for the best company in the world. Then it struck to me, occurred to me. Then I realized, yes, I make mistake. Because unless I walk through my path, that what I was, then I realized, yes, it is a fact. Okay, so one is that I make mistake. Second is that I tendency to cheat. Given an opportunity, that we cheat others, cheat ourselves, so many ways. So the second point, which again went through, it's small things. We speak a lie in order to overcome the situation, because speaking lie is kind of a way of life for many. Then I also subsequently heard from Bhagavad Gita, learned that speaking a lie is actually resulting in sinful credits for us. So we shouldn't speak lie. We should be always honest. But we unknowingly or knowingly, we also make this situation that by doing this, we cheat. So this is again confirmed that out of this 2, I realized that yes, at some point in time I cheated. Somebody cheat big time. Somebody defraud, they rob the bank. Somebody steal. The countries they annex by cheating. There are so many ways that cheating is going on, from an insignificant level to big level. Then our senses are imperfect. So this is again, I thought I'm the intelligent person. Then this third factor is put in front of me, saying that your senses are imperfect. No, I have, I'm perfect, I'm young, healthy. Then they ask me this question, okay, so can you tell me, you have a bright, high, wonderful vision. Can you tell me what is happening in the next room beyond the wall? I said, I don't know. But there are people living there, I know. There are many activities happening, and you have a perfect vision. Why can't you see? I realized that yes, even though we have perfect vision, everything, that our senses are limited. Our senses are limited. We can't just process beyond certain level. So there is always, these are proven for every single human being. Then finally, the fourth one is that we are always in illusion. That what we think is real is actually not real. Bhagavad Gita teaches in the 2nd chapter. All of us think that we are this body, but Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. So this is the argument put forth by Krishna to Arjuna, because he was saying, I can't fight my own relatives and I can't kill, even though I'm the great archer, I'm the great warrior. In no time I can kill, but I don't want to kill, because by killing that I will incur sin and all the infamy, all the bad things will happen to me. I don't want to do. So then that's when Krishna started explaining that you are an illusion. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, you're the great warrior. He's saying that you're an illusion. What kind of an illusion? You think that, all these people are bodies, because it's like how we are changing the dress every day. Similarly, this body is going to change one day and the soul is going to assume another body. So the soul never dies. But we think that I am this body, I am this, man, woman, we dress ourselves, we recognize ourselves in different forms. We think that I am this body. So that's the biggest illusion. So the second biggest blow in my life was this lesson was important to me, that all of us have these 4 defects. I thought whenever I have doubt, whenever I am in need, my father, my grandfather, my whole family will stand up to me. When I heard this, I had a shock. Does it mean that they also have these 4 defects? Bhagavad-Gita said yes. And I had a shock again. What can I do? Somebody is saying my father is also have this problem, my grandfather is also have a problem, my great-grandfather also have a problem. Why we have to accept this? Because Krishna is saying that in Bhagavad-Gita. Because all of you who are in this material world have limitations, but I am beyond that. So then it set me thinking, okay, so then I have to ask the relevant questions. Then I want to have an answer. Whom do I get this answer? Then they explained to me by referring to Bhagavad-Gita that anybody who speak with these 4 defects, their knowledge is always imperfect. So if you follow somebody who's beyond these 4 defects and you follow them, your life will never be in bad situation, because we have suffering. Why suffer? Because we do some activity, that activity binds us in this material world, and we have to go through suffering again. So like this, we are constantly in this cycle of repeatedly going through the suffering. So then I asked this question again. So whom should I ask for this question answer, and how do we implement this? Then they explained this whole 2nd chapter to me over a period of time. But Krishna is explaining very nicely that this knowledge which is coming from the Supreme Lord himself through the disciplic succession, evam parampara praptam. So when you go through this whole disciplic succession, Krishna gave, then Brahma, then Naradji, so the whole disciplic succession is established. So when we hear this whole instruction from the Supreme Lord, when we implement and we see, when we go through in our life, we will not be in a position to go through this problem of hearing to somebody and who are also subject to these 4 defects. That's a fundamental understanding I came to know through Bhagavad Gita. Then when I, over a period of time, when I went through this Bhagavad Gita, there is so much of clarity that I started respecting our elders to the extent what is necessary, and also started getting this knowledge which all human beings are supposed to get from the original Supreme Personality Godhead, who actually makes us realize that what kind of questions, what kind of life as human being is supposed to lead. So when you look at this Bhagavad Gita, when you just understand and just try to implement them, because it's many people speak about Bhagavad Gita, and many of them they understand in theory. Many of them, they don't understand what is said in theory, because there are 3 levels we need to approach this Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So when you look at this whole 3-tier structure, we understand in theory, then we, oh, okay, so what is said, we need to digest, that's an understanding. And the 3rd step is what Krishna is saying, what Bhagavad Gita is saying. If we don't implement in our lives, then the root shock for our life will continue to exist. What is the root shock? We are continuing to live like animals. We are no better than animals. So that is actually really shook me up, saying that I don't want to live an animalistic life. I want to be civilized. I want to be an intelligent human being and follow what I am supposed to do as the dharma for a human being. Because that's how this whole Sanatana Dharma is also designed by the Lord and given it to the human being. So that was a wonderful jumpstart for me in my life. And I know that I can continue speaking all this, and I have limited time, so I would like my wife also to share some of the wisdom, then I can actually take some more questions at the end of it.
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिमित्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनदानपरमानन्दमाधव श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So we heard from Chaitanya Avtaridas that how we need to hear from the Bhagavad Gita. So now my question is, why Bhagavad Gita? Why we need to hear from the Bhagavad Gita? So before I answer that question, I would like to ask a question to all of you. So if you're buying a a new mobile or a TV, how do you know how you need to operate that? Because it's new, and now we are seeing that every time the technology changes, every time a new mobile phone comes with new features, we don't know how to operate that. So video is off, they're saying. So the point is that when we buy a mobile phone or a TV, it always comes with a manual. And then we need to read the manual to understand how we need to operate this. So similarly, when the Lord created this material universe, he gave us a manual how to lead this life in this material world. If we don't have the manual to operate the mobile, what will happen? We will use our own intelligence, or we will speculate, maybe it's like this, maybe it's like that. Sometimes it may work out or it may not. So either we misuse it or we abuse it, or we don't know how to use it and we may spoil it. So similarly, the Lord did not want us to waste our lives like that. So he gave us a manual, and that manual is actually the Bhagavad Gita. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is actually telling us how we need to lead a life. All of us want to be happy, isn't it? Is there anybody here who don't want to be happy? All of us want to be happy. So what is happening is we want to be happy, but we don't know how to be happy. We are thinking, okay, maybe this is going to give me happiness. Maybe that is going to give me happiness. We are experimenting with that. We are experimenting with so many things. And sometimes it may give us a temporary happiness. Temporarily, we may feel happy, but again, this happiness is not continuous. Say, for example, I like gulab jamun. I love gulab jamuns. And then if I eat one gulab jamun, I feel very happy. If I eat the next one, I feel really happy. And then when I keep eating gulab jamun, maybe I eat 10 or 15, then what will happen? Do you think my happiness will continue? Then I may have to visit the doctor. So whatever is giving me happiness in the beginning, if I continue doing that, it's not giving me happiness. But I want happiness always. This was just an example. So this happens in all the activities what we are doing. We may think, okay, maybe this activity, it may give me happiness. Maybe the other activity maybe give me happiness. So like that, we are speculating and speculating, thinking that we keep experimenting with different activities, thinking that activity will give us happiness. Yes, it will give us happiness for some time, but when we continue to do that over a period of time, either we get bored or we feel fed up, or we get a different reaction where we may have to suffer. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving us the recipe for being always happy. For always, susukam kartum avyayam. Always you can be happy. That's what Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. We can always be happy. So this recipe for happiness is what Krishna is giving. So he's teaching us how to lead a life in this material world. The topic is Bhagavad Gita, the way of life. Yes, how to lead our life so that we can be always happy is what Krishna is giving us. So for that, there are some various steps. So if we follow those steps, as Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita, like if I have to operate the mobile phone, I have to follow the steps, what is given in the manual. Only when I follow those steps, what is given in the manual, can I operate the mobile phone properly. If I don't follow the steps, what is given in the manual, then I cannot operate the mobile phone properly. So similarly, Krishna has given us different steps, various steps in the Bhagavad Gita. And when we follow those steps, then we can be happy, like how we always want to be. So, but then it may not be possible. So Krishna is giving these instructions, how to be happy in various chapters, from the first chapter to the 18th chapter. And also he's giving us various options. Okay, if you're not able to do this, maybe you can try to do this. Maybe if you're not able to do this, maybe you can. do something else. So he's also giving us many options by which we can be happy. So this is the reason why Bhagavad Gita is actually a manual for leading the life in this material world. Say, for example, the most often quoted verse is Karmanye Vadikarasya Mapaleshu Kadachana. Karmanye, he's saying, do your duty. So everybody is thinking, okay, do my duty, do my duty. That is very good. Yes, Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Karmaneka Vadikarase Mapaleshu Kadachana. The second sentence is very important, what he's saying. The second part of the shloka, you don't expect the results. You just do your duty, but you don't expect the result. Leave the result to me. So generally what happens, we are always, when we do something, we are always expecting the result. And when we don't get the result, what happens? We feel very frustrated. But what Krishna is telling here, you do your duty and you leave the result to me. So if we want to be free from anxiety, so what is one of the things that in our life, we don't want to be anxious. So how can we not be anxious? Here, Krishna is giving us he's giving us the solution as to how we should not be anxious. He's saying, you just do your duty, don't be attached to the results, and you leave the results to me. So what happens is that when we get the results, yes, we will feel happy. Yes, I did my duty and then I got the results. The Lord has given me the result. And in case we don't get the result, we do our duty, but we don't get the result, then what happens? Then there is no need for us to feel anxious, because we can always say, yes, I did my duty as the Lord has said in the Bhagavad Gita, and I have left the result to him. So maybe he don't want me to get that result. So it's okay. So maybe it's not good for me. So when we understand like that, then we don't feel anxious. Then somebody may say, oh, if I do the duty only, no, let me be without doing the duty. No. Krishna is saying you must do your duty. Mate sangostva akarmani. He's saying you should not be without doing your duty, because if we be even without doing our duty, then that will also bind us in sinful reactions. So the point is that if we want to be anxiety free, we have to follow this very nice instruction of Krishna. What is a very nice instruction of Krishna? Do your duty, don't be attached to the results, leave the results to me. And then whether we get a positive result or whether we get a negative result, we will not be distracted or disturbed, because we are doing as what Krishna is saying. We are just doing our duty. Like say, if we are students, then our duty is to study. We have to study. We cannot say, oh, I will leave the result to Krishna. Without studying, we cannot say, oh, I will leave the result to Krishna. No, we have to do our duty of studying and then put in all the best efforts, whatever is possible, and then leave the results. And then when we get good results, then we can say, okay, whatever I have put in efforts, it's been rewarded. If we don't get good results, then we say, okay, maybe I have to put in more efforts. Maybe I have to change the way I'm studying. Maybe I have to do something else. So then we know that. So that way what happens, we won't be disturbed. And then say many of us, many students, they have this problem of not concentrating or having forgetfulness, not remembering. So what is the solution Krishna is giving in the Bhagavad Gita? He's saying, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. I am residing in everyone's heart as Paramatma. Matha smritir gnanam apohanam cha. From me comes knowledge, forgetfulness, and remembrance. So if we have this problem of forgetfulness, if we have this problem of not remembering, then we can understand, oh, Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma. Then I have to ask him, I have to pray to him. Please give me, we have to remember this shloka. We have to remember this shloka. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. Matha smritir gnanam apohanam cha. Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So let me pray to him to give me the remembrance. Let me pray to him that I should not forget. So this is so simple, you see. And when we start praying to the Lord, when we start accepting, so this is a way of life. Krishna has given us a solution. If you're having the problem of forgetfulness, if you're having the problem of remembrance, I am sitting in your heart and I am giving you this. So we have to just approach him. Krishna, I'm having this problem. Please help me. And then over a period of time, we can see that by practicing, we can actually get over this problem. This is very, very simple, very, very easy problem. So like this, for everything in our life, Krishna has a solution for us. The only thing is that we need to read the Bhagavad Gita and find out where, for which problem, what solution is there, what Krishna is saying. We need to just find out. And how do we find out that? We actually, as Prabhu was saying, Chaitanya Avatari Prabhu was saying, we have to approach a guru or approach a person who knows this Bhagavad Gita and who will help us to find these solutions. So like this, we can see that this is a wonderful opportunity on this day, especially that Krishna has given us this Bhagavad Gita so that we can lead a very happy life. And we read Bhagavad Gita and we follow the instructions what Krishna has given in the Bhagavad Gita. Like how we desire, we can always be happy. Even when we are in this material world, we can always be happy and we can be stress-free. So this is a one-point solution for all the problems in life. Hare Krishna. So anybody has any questions? Huh? Any questions there? Somebody's typing. Please type in the chat box if you have any questions. How do we learn this practically and apply in our lives? Wow, such a wonderful question. You want to answer? How do we learn this practically and apply in our lives?
Thank you for your question. This is what actually we are actually systematically imparting in International Society for Krishna Consciousness. There are different programs catering to different strata of people. Somebody is very intellectual, somebody is scholarly, somebody wants to become a devotee of the Lord, somebody wants to overcome their problems, because Krishna himself is saying 4 types of people surrender unto him. So we don't know which category we belong or anybody belong, but if they approach Krishna, then they have all their problems addressed appropriately. So if you want to understand Bhagavad Gita practically, that we have many programs which is organized in ISKCON. So please get in touch with the nearest ISKCON temple, or you can just write to us. We can put you across to the right source so that you can learn practically how Krishna consciousness can be implemented in your lives. And I would say this is what happened to me in my life also, because I was also like a normal person working, went through my education, and also wanted to work for the best organization in the world. I did. Then there is always, I was not satisfied with what was going on till the time I got in touch with Bhagavad Gita, and also the guide who actually helped me in my life to overcome and understand this in a very practical way. So I can always share my experience. I'm a temple president here in ISKCON Magadi Main Road. There are many programs we organize in our temple. There's online, there are also face-to-face programs. So we are offering many such solutions. for different kind of challenges, not only here. And as mentioned earlier, we travel widely worldwide. Our specialty is that how everyone can practice Krishna consciousness staying at home. Because if everybody want to live in the temple, there is no place for all of us to live in the temple. So what we are actually trying to do is practically, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, how do you understand the essence of Krishna consciousness or essence of teachings of Lord Krishna and implement in your life. So that's what we travel around and explain this. So whatever way, we will be happy to help you. Feel free to get in touch with us. Next question. How does go? No more question. How does Kali Purush create obstacle to the devotees? Oh, okay. So the biggest weapon of Kali Purush is your WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook. So I see now this is a common problem I see worldwide, not only here, especially in India. There's a lot of youngsters, youth population, powerful, very energetic. All of them have this one problem commonly, that if you know how much of screen time you spend on a day, the average says anything between 7 to 8 hours, which is phenomenal downgrade in the consciousness of the people in general. So if people are just using the time to get succumbed to some of the temptations of the mind, how the mind is degraded. And because of that, once productivity comes down, when you are youth, you have to achieve something in life with an understanding what Krishna is saying, nicely fortifying ourselves, protecting ourselves. If we nicely move forward, then our life can also be a good example and we can also lead a happy life. So Kali Purusha is available in many forms. So this age is called quarrel and hypocrisy. For anything and everything, there is a fight, there is a misunderstanding. So people are just waiting for an opportunity to fight with each other. So this Kali is designed to be like this, because at the end of Kali Yuga, this whole cosmic creation will be annihilated by the will of the Supreme Lord. So this Yuga is meant to be like that. But for only people who are intelligent, who understand that how we can actually protect ourselves from the effects of Kali, Krishna is saying, explained wonderfully in Bhagavad-Gita.
Kaler doshe nidhi rajan astihi eko mahan gunaha kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet.
So he's giving also a solution.
Kali Yuga is full of faults, but the most easiest way is to just take the Lord's names. Kali Yuga is full of faults. Just take the Lord's names and then we'll be able to get over the influence of Kali Purusha.
What is the other question? Earlier question. What is the significance of chanting Hare Krishna mantra and Bhagavad Gita? Okay. Again, one more practical question. This chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is recommended for this age of Kali, because in this 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali, in the Satya Yuga, people used to live for long years, 100,000 years, and then it's gradually reduced. In Kali Yuga, we are expected to live 100 years. Nobody lives 100 years. If somebody crosses 70 years, everything is bonus. Even if you want to live healthily, if you go to hospital, they'll finish you off. So that's the condition we live in. So when we have a short span of life, our intelligence is less because it's a Kali Yuga effect. With all this, if we have to be peaceful, the Lord always devises a wonderful plan, because in the previous yugas, the Lord used to kill demons, 1 or 2. We all know famous demons, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha. Like this, there are many demons were there earlier. So Lord somehow devised a plan to annihilate them so that he protects, because that's what Krishna is saying. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious principle, I listen myself. So in the age of Kali, all of us have demonic qualities and thoughts because we are constantly influenced by the social media today. So our thoughts are corrupted. We think so much negatively. So if you have to overcome that effect, that you have to associate with something positively. So the Lord was recommending this process himself, because by giving one plan, you upgrade everyone. Like how Lord annihilate the demons, he also want to annihilate the demonic qualities in all the human beings in this age of Kali. So how do you do that? By just associating with the Lord himself in the form of holy names. So when we chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we are actually associating with the Lord's holy name, who is the supremely pure. So when we constantly associate with him, our conscience also change, our conscience also very clear. So by that way, so we can overcome the problem because we have the Lord's mercy directly on us, because the Lord is not different from the Supreme Lord himself. So that's why when you associate with the Lord's holy name, we actually get all the benefits when we have, like how Pandavas enjoyed. Pandavas went through many difficulties, but they were always with the Lord, so that all those difficulties were a big deal for them. For us in Kali Yuga, if we always constantly associate with the holy names of the Lord, the same benefit what Pandavas get, we also can enjoy. That is why we chant Hare Krishna.
And also, Bhagavad Gita means what? The song of God. Bhagavad Gita means song of God. So this was actually, the Bhagavad Gita has emanated from the lotus mouth of the Lord. So whatever the Lord speaks is very, very powerful. So when we recite the Bhagavad Gita, whatever demoniac qualities are there in our heart, all those will get eradicated, and then we will get all good qualities, and also we will be able to face the bad things in life. We will be able to face even misfortune will not come to us. So if we have to feel protected, always only the Lord can protect. And if you want to feel protected, we can always chant the Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna is saying in the Gita Mahatmya, Lord Shiva is telling to Parvati, if you can chant all the 700 shlokas is very good. If you're not able to chant 700 shlokas, at least chant one chapter. If you're not able to chant one chapter, at least chant one shloka. If you're not able to chant one shloka, at least chant half a shloka. Even half a shloka is not possible, just chant quarter shloka. So if every day if you are thinking Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, if you're just thinking like that, you will get so much of protection from the Lord. Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, how much time is there for you? Just not even 1 second. But the protection what you are going to get is throughout the day you can get the protection. So so much powerful is the words of the Lord. So that is why it's very important we chant the Lord's names, and also we chant the Bhagavad Gita, so that we are always protected from the ill effects. Of so many ill effects are there, we'll always feel protected.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, I thank the organizers, GT group of institutions, the management for giving us an opportunity on this auspicious day of Gita Jayanti to speak something about Bhagavad Gita, the benefits, and how we can have Bhagavad Gita as part of our life, and we can take advantage of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Why am I here on this earth? What am I supposed to do? Where am I going? The relevant questions will trigger us to know and find the purpose of life. Attach yourself to the process but not the result, to be above the materialistic life. Explained in Bhagavad Gita through Sri Chaitanya Avatari Das and Rasamaya Devi Dasi today. This is a perfect day to every one of us for being the part of today's webinar and getting the best answers apart from the textbooks and the curriculum. Manasyekam, Vachasyekam, Karmanyekam, Mahatmanam. Human can attain nobility through unanimity in thought, speech, and induction. These are the qualities of a noble person. With this, I take leave from everyone. I wish everyone a great day ahead. Thank you so much. So I request all the participants to please fill the feedback form in order to get the certificates.